Yo, what's going on, man? Today is the last day of January 2024, January 31st, 2024. We have a lot of games to get into, and welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in as always. I'm coming off a pretty rough day, man. Always honest and transparent with you guys. Yesterday I talked about not really liking the slate a lot, not forcing the plays, and I'm not as frustrated because I did go smaller on a lot of the best that I did place yesterday. But of the plays that I talked about on the show, I ended up, doing a little more deep diving, finding about 5 of them that I absolutely love, and went 1 and 4. So those plays did not cash yesterday. The only play I got right was the Lakers and the Atlanta Hawks to go over the total of 247.5. Also talked about Atlanta not being able to cover spreads, and of course they proved me wrong yesterday. They win the game by margin. I think they won by 14. I had the Lakers +6. And then also Dennis Schroeder, I talked about taking his points under 15 and a half. And Dennis Schroeder finishes with 16 points, of course. So bad break there. And then I talked about the total in the Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers game, about how Boston just plays, really, really good defense against really good offensive teams. And, Indiana had been 5-1 to the under in their last 6 games on the road since the Pascal Siakam trade. They were down TJ McConnell. They were down Ben Mathurin. It's going to be a lower scoring game. They absolutely get blasted, give up 80 points in the first half. And I took their team total under 119.5. I also took the full game under 247.5. So, like I said, they were smaller plays because I didn't absolutely love the slate and probably should have just stayed off all of it altogether. But either way, it's small losses, just ups and downs of the season. And, I'm pretty sure we get it back here. So 1-4 day yesterday, minus 1.4 units. On the season, that brings us to 191, 160, and 3. We're still up 25 units, but it's really hard to get to 30, man. And I'll reiterate this. I said it yesterday, but a lot of these teams are not, extremely locked in. A lot of these players are not extremely locked in on what the mission is. And until the All-Star break, I think we kind of continue to see that, right? So I'm not going to repeat the message that I said yesterday, but I do think that's a thing for sure. So appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. Like I said, we got a big slate to get into. And we'll get to it. What's up, Prolific, Tasha, Kenneth, Takari, Raptors fan said he's won 4-1 yesterday. Could have been 5-0 if Tatum got that double. What's up to my guy DJ? Appreciate you for becoming a member. Tasha reminding everybody to hit the like button, and yeah, please leave a thumbs up if you guys do enjoy the content. What's up, Shadow fan? Euphoria, my guy Munoz. He said smash that like button as well. Malik, my guy, what's going on, bro? He said he's so sick of the Bulls. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about it. What's up, Austin, EQ, Young Harlow, Captain Zach, Fear Elite, LJ from H-Town, Jamie. Let's get it, man. Let's get it for today for sure. Let's go to the first game we got on the board, and I gotta. You guys will have to bear with me just for a quick second because some of these lines I will have to change just a tad bit as we've seen some injury news kind of shift some things around. I'll talk about one of the things that kind of bit me in the butt because I did take a play that moved tremendously already. We're going to talk about that one in a second as well. So first game up we have is the Detroit Pistons. They will be in Cleveland today. They're getting 12.5 points on the road, or you can say the Cleveland Cavaliers are laying 12 points in this spot. So the big news here, of course, is Darius Garland's return. Dude had his mouth wired shut for I don't know if it was 2 weeks or 4 weeks or something crazy that I read last night or that I heard last night. He's gonna make his return in this spot, so that could throw things off just a tad bit. Darius Garland is one of the more elite all-star level type point guards, but I think that could play a part in this game. So Garland making his return. You also got Jared Allen, who's been downgraded to questionable in the first leg of a back-to-back. The Cleveland Cavaliers do travel to Memphis to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Not a look-ahead spot at all, but sometimes you do kind of want to reserve your legs and your energy. Cleveland Cavaliers are playing really good basketball right now. It's hard for me to fade this team, even with them laying margin at the crib. But I do want Jared Allen in. We know Evan Mobley just came back, so this will only be a second game back. On the opposite side, the Detroit Pistons got a pretty clean injury report outside of Isaiah Stewart, who's listed as very unlikely to play. So I talked about the Pistons. This team just came off an outright win on Sunday. So they're well rested against the Oklahoma City Thunder when they were at home. They are 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games. So not necessarily a spot you want to necessarily fade them in either. We've seen just the maturation, I would say, of Jalen Duren. A lot of those bench guys are stepping up. You got the starters actually playing well. Everybody that's not named Killian Hayes is actually playing pretty good basketball for the Detroit Pistons, man. So for me, it's really hard to fade this team right now. Like I said, they are 10-11 against the spread in their last on the road this season, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games, though. So for me, this game is really, really difficult situationally. Like I said, the Cavs not in the greatest spot with a standalone road game coming up. I'm sorry, this is a standalone road game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They go back home and actually host the LA Clippers on Friday. So I'm not sure what to do with this game. Head to head, the Cavs do kind of own this team as well. Pistons are 6-2 to the over as double-digit road favorites this season. We see their offense playing a little bit better, but the Cavs defense has been so elite, man. It's really a difficult game for me to bet. So I'm not going to waste too much of your time. I just wanted to kind of give you some angles. I was looking at the over initially. I do like the over a little bit more if Jared Allen doesn't play. Like I said, Pistons 6-2 to the over as double-digit road favorites this season. They're 15-6 to the over on the road overall. So that's a really strong trend towards the over. And it's typically because they get these super low totals, right? Pistons also playing at the top 10 pace over the last 5 games. So I guess I kind of lean over, but without Jared Allen, without the news with Jared Allen, I'm definitely not playing this game. Even with the news of Jared Allen, I'm probably not going to play this game. So I'll go over to the chat real quick, see if you guys have anything, and then we'll keep it moving. No player props I really liked in this game. I think with Darius Garland coming back, it could throw off the rotation of a lot of those guys on the Cleveland Cavaliers side. And we got to remember, Evan Mobley, only his second game as well. So that makes it really, really difficult. I considered going under on Cade just because the Cleveland's defense has been so good, but Cade numbers seem to be kind of spot on. And he's played well against Cleveland. Granted, his team hasn't, but he's played pretty well against Cleveland over his last couple games as well. Let's see what you guys have on this game. So I'll turn to the YouTube chat real quick. Let's see. Young Harlow says, my guy, hope you're doing good. Just dropping in to say, everyone drop a like, subscribe. I'll be back once I get my car issue sorted out. Yeah, hopefully you get that car issue sorted out. I remember you said somebody stole your car, Young Harlow. Captain Zach, I did get a DM on this as well, or somebody mentioned me on Twitter. Says, shout out to whoever mentioned Josh Hart triple-double yesterday. That was the one and the only, Mr. Flo. I always tell you guys to follow him. I'm not sure if you're looking at your phone when he's speaking or not, but yeah, shout out to Flo for dropping that triple-double for Josh Hart yesterday. Plus 6,500, I think, is what cash. Fear Elite, what's going on, my brother? Let's see. What else? We liking anything in this game? I don't see anybody say they liking anything in this game. Let's see. Okay, Raptors fan says he's leaning Donovan Mitchell under 6.5 assists. He said he hasn't hit 7 assists against the Pistons when Darius Garland is playing, and he also hasn't had 7 against the Pistons in his entire career. This could be a good look, Raptors fan. I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you got, a lot of guys that can move the ball. I'm not sure if Darius Garland is going to be on a minutes limit, but this makes a lot of sense to me. I'm going to write this one down. I'm definitely going to write this down. I didn't know that I didn't even look at Donovan Mitchell assists, but it makes sense that he's going to get less potential assist opportunities, under 6.5 assists. And Raptors fan, Raptors fan, but he been cashing too. So shout out to Raptors fan, man. Appreciate you for dropping this look in here. Sean, what's going on, my brother? He says shout out to Flo for that triple-double look as well. Dollar J says, how about the over? That's what I'm looking at as well. Low goal, Magicarp, I think is how you pronounce that. Likes Bojan Bogdanovic over his points. What's up to my guy David? I would not be looking at Cadence. Don't let me talk you off, but I don't like it as much in a slow-paced game against one of the better defensive teams in the league. What's up to my guy Tariq? LA Mackin says he likes the Detroit team total under 108.5. Tariq saying what I said. He said tread lightly in this spot. Val says the same thing. He says the NBA is always wacky on Wednesdays. Bet responsibly. And EQ says Cavs should theoretically take care of business. And I would agree with that sentiment. The line is big enough for them to win, but not necessarily cover. Potentially 8 points at the end of the game, and then you don't cover. Pistons, like I said, they've been balling, man. But we'll see how it goes. Let's move on. It don't sound like a lot of interest in that game. And I don't have a lot either. I do have some interest in this game, however. So the LA Clippers will be in DC tonight, taking on the Washington Wizards. This line actually opened at 13 yesterday. When I was looking at it, it was about 13. On one book, it was 13. And then When I woke up this morning, it was 12.5, and then it was coming down to 12, and I was like, oh, okay, so money coming in on Washington, and it made this one to me kind of makes sense, right? So Washington, don't look now, this team has actually been playing a little bit better basketball, and I've been watching them. Marvin Bagley III been coming over, being the backup center or the starting center, depending on what role he needs to play in this offense for this team, and they've kind of gotten it going just a tad bit, man. They got back-to-back wins. They beat Detroit in a game that we were, I think I gave out Washington that game. Maybe I didn't. But I like Washington in that spot against Detroit. Also liked no, I did not give them out. That was on a Saturday. And then they go to San Antonio, and I talked about liking Washington in that spot as well. So strength of schedule-wise, they haven't beaten anybody really, really good. And Ben Simmons did just get ruled out. So if you want if you want Brooklyn, you probably want to go hop on them right now. That line is going to move. LaMelo Ball also just got ruled out as well, and we'll talk about that game here in a second also. So, yeah, we always get the late injury news in these games, man. Poor Ben Simmons. So back to this game. I like the points. Give me the ugly dog in this spot, man. Give me the Washington Wizards. I know that the Clippers have been hooping. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. They're 8-2 straight up. They're coming off a loss against the Cleveland Cavaliers as well when they were a favorite. And Washington, not the greatest role at home specifically. They're just 7-14 against the spread at home. But like I said, I like the basketball that they've been playing. I look at this Clippers team. They typically play down the competition, 3-2 straight up and against the spread this month as road favorites. And only 2 of those games actually came by margin. They beat the Phoenix Suns by 9. They beat the Grizzlies by 9, and they beat the Raptors by 20. But they lost to the Cavs and they lost to the Lakers, and these were all games where they were favorite in. You look at this Washington team, they've lost by margins twice this season, but both of those games actually came when they were unrested. They lost to the Knicks. I know you guys probably remember that game because we had the team total under versus the Knicks. They were unrested in that spot, and they lost to the Jazz, and that was a game where they were unrested as well, coming off a cover against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I think that I think 13, was too many. I did take the Washington Wizards. This before the Paul George news, who did get downgraded to questionable with the groin injury. I did take the Wizards. I think it wasn't a full unit. It's like 0.75 of a unit on the Washington Wizards in this spot. I think on the season, I look at their defensive efficiency, it's 28th, but over the last 10 games, it's actually 7th. And like I said, with the line moving down, it feels like the sharp money is on Washington in this spot. I think even if the Clippers get out to a big lead, I think Washington, they're one of those teams that fight hard all the way to the end. From a total perspective, I would only be able to look under, and you see the money come in on the under in this spot. Hasn't really it moved from 239 down to 237, 236 in some spots, but I think I like it a little bit more, like even more than that. The Washington Wizards offense has kind of struggled. They haven't been able to move the ball. They're 10-4 to the under this month, including 5 straight unders. They're 6-1 to the under at home games in January. And the defense has improved since adding Marvin Bagley III. The Clippers 5-3 to the under this month as well on the road. And this could be a flat spot for the Clippers, right? They want to win the game, but do they necessarily need to win by 15 points? I don't think so. So give me the ugly dog in this spot. Like I said, I took the Wizards plus 12.5. The line is now down to it's some 11s out there, but it's still money coming in still all the way down to 10. So from a player prop perspective, not much that I liked here. I think you gotta wait on the news for PG if you want to play anything on the Clipper side. But I know I did the prop cast with my guy Munoz, and he likes James Harden over his assist prop 9.5. You can get the double. I think it's like plus 105, something along those lines. I could not talk anybody off that. James Harden's been willing and dealing. He's the primary ball handler, and Washington kind of bleeding assist to the point guard position. So I do like that look of James Harden a lot tonight. And I also like I said, the Wizards. Give me the Wizards. And if I had to play the total, I'll be playing the under in this one. Let's see what you guys are on. Let's go back to the chat here. Let me see. LJ likes the Clippers in the first half. He says -6.5 is what he got. 7-3 ATS first half, last 10 on the road. Wizards 3-7 against the spread first half at home. Their last 10 games. I like this one, LJ. So if you guys remember, I talked about this in the last game and didn't even play it. I talked about well, it wasn't the last game. It was the second to last game when the Clippers were playing in Toronto. I talked about taking the Clippers early because on the road as a favorite, they do come out and typically ball at the beginning of the game. I think the margin is plus 5.6 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but This makes a lot of sense. The Wizards, if you want to fade them, typically it's early in the game. For some reason, they do not play well at home in the first quarter. I want to say their point differential in the first quarter at home is the biggest in the NBA. So if you want to fade the Wizards, you typically want to do it in the first quarter or the first half. For whatever reason, they come out extremely flat in that spot. So I could see that. Jamie says your timing for these games are great. Probably talking about the injury report. Let's see. And he says Bagley 8 or more rebounds, has hit in 6 of his last 10 games versus the Clippers. He's 10 for 10 over 4.5 boards versus the Clippers in his career as well. Tasha, she says she took them Washington Wizards plus 12.5. Let's hope we get some cash tonight with them, Tasha. I like the look a lot. Shadow says, how do you feel about Harden double-double? I just talked about that. I like it. What's up to my guy, Bryant? He says, Washington is the play for me. Let's go. Yeah, Euphoria says, definitely an ugly dog, but could cash for real. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. Little Gold Magikarp, I think is how you pronounce that. It says, Westbrook triple-double. He has 198 triple-doubles. Get this one on the road and get a triple-double number 200 at home next game is what he's thinking. And Westbrook did play for the Wizards. It was a short stint, but Westbrook was in D.C. We can't forget that either. Let's see. Tariq says if the Clippers are up live, bet Washington for more plus money. I would agree with that as well. And shout out to my guy, Will. He says he loves that James Harden assist line. All right, let's keep going. We got a lot more games to get into. Hit the like button for me if you guys join later. I appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. Means a lot. Let's keep going. I do have a play in this game as well, as we see the line probably move a little bit. The next game is the Chicago Bulls, who lost as a home favorite yesterday against the Charlotte Hornets. I'm sorry, against the Toronto Raptors. Nobody really saw that one coming. I didn't either. I don't even think Sharp Money saw that one coming. I talked about that line opening at 1.5, closed at like 6.5, and you see the Bulls just. I think they went scoreless. I keep it honest with you guys. I fell asleep last night. I was asleep early. I was tired. Went to sleep pretty early last night, so I didn't watch a lot of the end of these games. But I looked at a little bit at the beginning, and they said the Bulls didn't score in the last like 7 minutes of the game, and that's the scary thing about Chicago. Now, however, it's not that scary when you play against the Charlotte Hornets. We know that this team is not great defensively, they're not great offensively, and LaMelo Ball just got rolled out. So on the year, we're looking at a Bulls team that's just 8-15 straight up on the road, and they're just 11-12 against the spread on the road. However, the Hornets 5-17 at home straight up, and they're just 8-14 against the spread. So neither one of these teams are good in this spot specifically. However, once again, the Chicago Bulls do own the Charlotte Hornets. They played 3 times already this season. I think Chicago's won each one of them. They've covered each spread, and this goes back for some time. Recent form, this Hornets team is bad. 2-8 against the spread in their last 10, 0-5 straight up and against the spread. This month, without Terry Rozier since the trade, they're losing those games by average of 18 points, and they've lost every single game by at least 7 points. So even though the Bulls are on the second leg of a back-to-back, they didn't bite me yesterday. I had a lot of bad plays that did not cash, but it wasn't the Bulls. So I'm a little more, I guess, less reluctant to go near the Bulls today. I like the Bulls today. I did take the Chicago Bulls -4 is what I gave out this morning. As soon as I was able to kind of cap the game, because I knew Chicago had to travel. Don't like that spot as much. And, maybe Charlotte pulls off the unthinkable in this spot, but I'm cool fading them until they show me that they're, out there and want to be a real NBA team. Without LaMelo, without Terry Rozier, I cannot play on Charlotte. This Charlotte team is not good. At the least, I think even if the Chicago offense struggles, I think they can get the job done defensively. I would be looking at team total under for the Charlotte Hornets as well. And right now, I might even add that. Let's see. The number's going to drop, especially without LaMelo being in there. But Charlotte team total right now, let's just take a look real quick. Charlotte team total right now, Charlotte Hornets, you can get their team total at, if I can get this to populate. Oh, let's go to the actual game. Charlotte team total is 104.5. I think they struggle to get there. I'm not going to play it, though. I won't play it. What I'll do is, if Charlotte just, so happens to come out and have a great first half and score a bunch of points, and this team total goes up to like 107, I just needed to move like 3 or 4 points. 107.5, then I'll come back in on Chicago and take this team total to go under. But I won't touch it at 104.5. 104.5 is such a low number, but I still don't think that they score 105 points in this spot against this Bulls team that plays really, really slow, plays a lot of defense, very methodical team that also can struggle to score. So then when you're struggling to score, you have to rely on your defense even more. So Give me the Bulls in the spot. Not gonna double dip right now, but I will add that to my short list for live bets, and that'll be Charlotte team total under 104.5. That number is widely available on BetMGM, DraftKings, BetRivers, Caesars, ESPN Bet, Unibet, all of the different sports books. So those are my thoughts. Let's get to the comments real quick. Let me know what you guys are looking at here. Let's see. Vaughn says he likes the Clippers, the Timberwolves, the Bucks, and the Cavs on the money line at -140 for a half unit for him. Go Young DJ likes Drummond double. Raptors fan says, Chris, how do you feel about the first quarter total over 52.5? He says the Bulls on the second leg of a back-to-back, and the Hornets are coming off 2 days rest, and I've hit this over for the first quarter in four of their last 5 games. Another lean for me. Man, this is one Raptors fan. Don't let me talk you off because I didn't research it, didn't deep dive into it. But if this team if the Charlotte Hornets came out and had 15 points at the end of the first quarter, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not sure. Both of these teams play extremely slow as well. I'm not sure what happens in this game, man. I mean, you got Miles Bridges, you got Brandon Miller, you got Bryce McGowan's, I guess. Nick Richards, I think, is available for this game. I'm not touching Charlotte though. I don't want to bet on Charlotte to do anything except not score the ball. That's all I want to see. And yeah, Bryce McGowan is going to start for LaMelo Ball. We get that injury news. Let's see. Malik says they literally couldn't hit a shot. He says they need Patrick Williams. And Patrick Williams is going to be reassessed in 2 weeks, just FYI for people. He will miss this game tonight. Let's see. Tasha says Chicago team total over 110.5 is what she likes. I could not talk you off of that, Tasha. Chicago didn't score last night. I would imagine that they can be able to score in this game. I do imagine that. Bryant likes that Hornets team total. He says under 105.5 in the full game, under 215. He already took it. Hopefully the Bulls play some defense tonight. He likes it a lot. Malik says I can get there with that Charlotte team total under. He said they should not get 100 points tonight. And I agree. I do agree with that. I definitely do agree. Let's see. Bill, I see your question, but I'll get to those games in a few seconds. I like to stay in order. Little Gold Magikarp says he likes PJ Washington over 2.5 3-point makes in this game, -105. I can see that. The Bulls do give up threes. They definitely do. And LJ, he likes Ayo DeSumo over 13.5 points in this spot. He says averages 15 over 30 minutes in his last 8 games. And if he plays 30 minutes, he should go way over since the Bulls dealing with so many injuries. And I could get behind this as well. Malik likes Caruso. He says his steals is a system play for him. And I did see this. I'm glad you mentioned this. And he says Kobe White is back in North Carolina. So he is from. Did he go to North Carolina? Did he go to North? I don't know where he went to school at, but I know he's from North Carolina. He went to UNC. Okay, it's right here. Went to UNC. Averages 6 assists against them. So it could be a big Kobe White night. I could definitely see that, especially with DeRozan playing so many minutes last night. You want to kind of lean on those young guys. Kobe White is primed to have a really good game against a team that literally can't stop anything. So I'm with you there. Daniel says, my system has Hornets 5 and 10 ATS in this spot. Love Chicago tonight. Yeah, hopefully Chicago gets there. And then Fury Elite says Kobe White threes. The Hornets are the bottom team in threes given up, he believes. I could see that as well. Paul George ruled out. Oh, man, maybe I should have went a little heavier. I mean, no reason for Paul George to play in this game. What that does mean, though, is Norman Powell to the moon when his lines are listed. That's what that means. Norman Powell to the moon. That line probably going to come down a little bit more now. Appreciate you guys for letting me know. What's up to my guy S. He says Ben Simmons out at 2, and we saw that as well. Vaughn says he's taking Westbrook double-double versus his old squad. And Lamar asking about Miles Bridges, points, rebounds, and assists. I really haven't been, can't give you a fair assessment on that, Lamar. I would have to look into it. I mean, Bridges going to have the opportunity. I'll tell you that. Will he be able to get there against the Bulls? The Bulls are a pretty good defensive team. I'm not quite sure, man. I'm not going to give you too much on that because I don't want to sway you one way or the other. Let's keep going. We got a few more games. We got a lot more games to get into. Let's go to the Kings and the Heat. So I think this line is let's just double check real quick. Miami is laying 2.5 at some spots. You guys see 1.5 on the ticker. And the total has actually come down. So let's just update this real quick. I'm very OCD when it comes to stuff like this. So they're laying 2.5 at some spots, and the total has come down to 229. And I think I would agree with the total. I don't really want to catch the falling knife with the Miami Heat. I mean, this team has been really, really bad, as we know. Miami Heat are 7-15-1 against the spread at home, and this was before they got bad. They're 7-15-1 against the spread at home, 6-14-2 against the spread after a loss. So a lot of people think that Miami bounced back. I know in my mind, I think Miami bounces back a lot of the times off losses. But they really legit have not been playing good basketball, Miami Heat basketball, since Eric Spoelstra got the big contract. I think they have one win since then. They've lost, 7 games in a row, last 5 games. They're 28th in rebounding. They're 27th defensively. Like, this isn't the Miami Heat team that we know. Last 7 games for Sacramento, they are 7th offensively, the 5th best rebounding team. And on the season, if you want to play Sacramento, we've made money off Sacramento 2 games in a row, stayed away from them in the last game, and I'm glad we did, because they barely beat Memphis, and it took them down to the wire to win by 9, and they were favored by 11. But Sacramento, if you want to play Sacramento, you typically want to do it on the road, where they're 15-7-1. This is the most profitable road team, I think, on the season. 7-3 against the spread as a road dog this season. I can't catch the falling knife with the Miami Heat. I know, eventually they're going to win. Eventually they're going to get over, the losing skid. But I won't put my hand out there to catch that falling knife. So it's either Sacramento for me, or I'll stay off the game. And I chose to stay off the game. Sacramento I think this is the 4th straight road game for them, 3rd straight road game, pretty long road trip. And eventually I do feel like they're going to drop one. They've lost a couple games in a row. I mean, they've won, I think, 3 games in a row now, kind of building some consistency. And I just don't think Miami has enough defense to be able to slow them down. Like I said, Miami is going to win a game eventually, but we continuously say that. And if we would have just faded Miami every single game within this trip that they're on, this losing streak that they're on, we'd be pretty profitable. We would have won 7-8 straight bets in a row. So I'm not catching the knife with the Heat. And those are just my thoughts. As far as the under goes, the Kings play better defense on the road. Miami eventually got to get it done on the road, I think, at some point, right? That's where it kind of starts at. So that's the way I'm kind of looking. I think would be towards an under. Not my favorite game, as you guys can probably tell. So I stayed off of this one, but Kings plus the points, and then I would be looking towards, I think, the under, just because the Heat desperation spot, got to slow the pace down, got to play a little bit more methodical, and got to be able to defend a little better. And I think that they're capable of that. They just haven't been seeing that. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see what you guys are on in this one as I turn back to the chat. Vaughn says Heat first half and full game for him. Loves this spot for him. Okay, so Vaughn said, you know what? I'm sticking my hand out there. Where the falling knife at? It's not gonna hurt me. We'll see how it goes. Brian says, let's go Heat. Get it right. Heat first half and full game for him on the money line as well. Estat, resident Heat fan, says he's on the Heat in the trifecta spot tonight. Tasha says Miami been breaking hearts and pockets, and that's the fact. They've been looking like, man, I haven't seen. I think this is the longest losing streak for Eric Spoelstra throughout his tenure with the Miami Heat. And we know he was a video coordinator since he was like 12 with the team. So I've never seen the Heat play this bad, and I'm not stepping out there. Best of luck to you guys, man. I hope y'all cash it. I'm not getting involved at all. Let's see. TJ says Kings always lost in Miami. Is that true? Have they always lost in Miami? Let's just pause for a second and let's get to the SDQL screen. I need to see this real quick. Let's see this this Kings team specifically in Miami. So Kings, and I need to see this real quick. Let's just go back 2 years. They only play one time a year in Miami, of course. Let's go to 2021. Look at this Kings team in Miami specifically. They are 0-2. 0-2 straight up. 1-1 against the spread. They lost last year. They lost 107-110, and then the year before they lost 100-123. So yeah, if you're going off recent, the entirety, maybe you do. You got a good point here. Last 2 years they have lost both games, one by 3 and one by 23. So yeah, I'm not doing it though. EQ says he's leaning Sacramento +2. Tasha says Miami been losing lately. Tariq says the entire Heat just ruled out. Hold on, what? Nobody got ruled out, right? Tariq, you making that up? Yeah, nobody got rolled out, man. You got me tripping over here. I'm like, what? Um, what else we got? TJ says he likes the under. S. Dot says all hands meeting bought out some real truths, and they are quote better for it, and end quote having quote confidence end quote in themselves. Okay, so maybe I didn't even see anything about the team meeting. Talib says Hami Jaquez over 10.5. Normally money at home. I can't bet player props for this team until I figure out, the role of all of these players, especially with Terry Rozier being in there. But don't let me talk you off if you like it. Lil Gold Magikarp says he likes De'Aaron Fox, 2 steals at plus 100. And call me Aries on the opposite side. He says Kings money line. He says fade Miami until the All-Star break. I can't do it anymore. Oh man. Raptors fan says he likes Kevin Huerter over 2.5 threes. He said 4 out of his last 5, both overall on the road, and 3 of his last 5 matchups against the Heat. So yeah, we got some love there. Let's see. David says Jimmy better score 40 if they serious. And Cooter says, as a Heat fan, I'm terrified to touch that game. Yeah, maybe just kind of see how it goes from the beginning, man. Young Euphoria says he got Heat on the money line. What's up to my guy Freemons? He says he's on the Heat as well. Yeah, I can't get near it, man. Y'all get jiggy with it though, man. I hope y'all cash. Let's go on to the next game. So we got Pelicans and we got Rockets. Pelicans are now. Let's make sure we got the updated line. This line's down to 1. Okay, so money coming in on the Pelicans in this spot. They are now 1 point home. I'm sorry, 1 point road dogs in this spot. I just want to update the line real quick. And the total has gone up. 230.5, opened at 228. So in this game, I think that the Rockets, I watched the Rockets play against the Lakers in that last game. We know it was a fate of the Lakers. I should have just played the Rockets in that game. But the Rockets have actually been hooping lately. This team has been, a little bit better. Especially, we know that they play better at home anyway. Much better at home. Total opposite team. Not going to give you guys the numbers for that. The Pelicans are another team that feels like a kind of like a fallen knife type team. They're kind of spiraling, and a lot of it happens to do with their defense. This team is not playing really good defense right now. We see them get smoked in Boston. Couldn't really get a stop. And if you're watching the games, it's something that a trend that I think is really, really important to talk about is their ability to not be able to close out games. I was listening to the Boston Celtics game because we did cash fading the Celtics with the Pelicans, but that fourth quarter got really, really scary when they couldn't score the ball. And I was listening to Brian Scalabrine, who was the people who know Brian Scalabrine, he's the commentator for the analyst for the Boston Celtics, covers the team extensively. I mean, he was saying something that really kind of jumped out to me. And what it was that they can't close the game. Like, they literally can't close the game. I'm not sure if it's Zion kind of running out of gas or if it's they just don't know who they want their closer to be, whether they want it to be CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, or Zion Williamson. But I think if you like the Pelicans in this spot, you want to get in, right? Maybe first quarter, first half, they come out with something, and then you just kind of watch the rest of the game. I think the Rockets can win this game, man. This team's 16-8-1 against the spread at home, 17-8, and literally you're just asking them to win the game. This is also a double revenge game because the Rockets actually beat the Pelicans earlier this season on the second leg of a back-to-back. It was a home back-to-back. I'm sorry, a home road back-to-back, and they went into New Orleans and beat them twice. So I'm not into taking the Pelicans on the road. This team is just one game above 500 on the road at 12-11. So, recent stats, I just don't like the way that they are, giving up a bunch of three-pointers, not really guarding anybody. Herb Jones is also listed as questionable. Zion also listed as questionable for this game. And Houston is getting a little healthier. We know Jabari Smith Jr. just came back. We're starting to see Cam Whitmore break out of his slump. Well, not even slump, but they're just starting to give him more minutes, Coach Ime Udoka. And then Jalen Green, he's been the guy. Ever since he had his bobblehead night, he's really picked it up offensively. I actually looked at his three-point prop in this game, over 2.5 at plus 110 over on DraftKings. And it's a play on Jalen Green because he's been shooting the ball so well. He has back-to-back 4 made three-pointers. He has 4 made three-pointers in back-to-back games versus the Lakers and the Nets, getting up at least 6 attempts in his last 6 games straight. Now he gets a terrible 3-point defense. The Pelicans allowing the 7 forced threes, 3-point makes over the last 5 games. Teams are shooting 37% from the 3-point line. And over the last 7 games, New Orleans ranks bottom 10 in opponent 3-point makes. To the shooting guard position as well, Derek White just hit 4, Campaign hit 3, Damian Lillard hit 3, Drew Holiday hit 3, SGA hit 3, and all of those guys shot better than 38% from the 3-point line. So looking at Jalen Green, I haven't really pulled the trigger on that one yet, but if I had a player prop in this game, that's where I would look. I know Sengun has been killing, but I think he's in a not the most favorable matchup against Valanciunas and some of those big bodies that they have. So those are my thoughts on this game. If I had to play it, I'd be playing Houston on the money line. And if I wanted the Pelicans, I'd get in and get out. As far as the total, Houston plays slow. I think that they probably dictate pace. And Pelicans off a couple losses in a row, man. I think they probably got to adjust defensively. So I'd be looking towards the under, even though the total has been going up. So kind of disagree with the market there. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Let's see, Euphoria. Let's start with him. He says, tough game. I think the Pelicans can win this. So he likes the Pelicans. David says, I've been staring at Rockets money line since 9:37 last night. Well, it keep getting better for you because the money keep coming in on the Pelicans in this spot, David. Yeah. Corey Cook says reverse line movement. Will Jackson says unleash the Whitmore. Yeah, man. Cam Whitmore is a baller, dude. This dude is nice. Let's see. Smokey Steam Bet says Pels blew fourth quarter lead in both previous matchups versus the Rockets. Focused for them here. He took the Pels on the money line. Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense to take the Pelicans. You guys, if you've been watching the show long enough, you know I don't really like fading the Pelicans. I either play the Pelicans or I stay off of them. But I like the Rockets at home. Not enough to play it, but those are my thoughts. Toshin says Jalen Green double-double. Time Idol said he took him to be more aggressive, hit 3 straight games. I did see his rebounds. He had 3 straight double-doubles. Maybe he just played 3 rebounds. I'm not sure if he gets a double-double. He had a double-double against the Nets and against the Lakers. Those aren't the greatest rebounding teams. Against this front line, the Pelicans are a pretty good rebounding team. I'm not sure I would take his double-double, but don't let me talk you off. Maybe just to look at his rebounds. Tariq says Pelicans first half will draw because Houston is good first half as well. Jamie says this one that you want to stay away from or play a live bet on, Chris. And I agree, Jamie. I absolutely agree. I think this game comes down to the wire. No matter who goes up by 10, maybe even 12 points early, you could probably live bet the other team to come back because I don't think, especially neither team has a look ahead spot. I think both of these teams are pretty rested. Let's see. So. The Pelicans play the Spurs back at home. So it's the last game. Well, I'm sorry, they play the Spurs on the road, but they don't play again until the second, which is what? Tomorrow's the first. So the second is on Friday. No look ahead spot to the San Antonio Spurs. And then Houston, they get another home game against Toronto coming up, and that's also not tomorrow. So definitely a good live betting spot. I agree with that. Call Me Aries says Pelicans don't have that drive anymore. I don't know what's going on. Rockets money line and Pels have been traveling a lot lately. I would agree with that as well. This is the 3rd straight road game for them. Whereas the Rockets trying to get back in form, man, they did not do good on that road trip. Remember, they got smoked on their road trip. Lost to the Knicks, lost to the Bucks, lost to, I can't remember everybody, but they lost a lot of games on that road trip. To the Philly, to Boston, barely beat Detroit. Yeah, I remember that. Prolific says get in and get out with the Pels first half. Socks and Sneak says I think it's because their best players aren't great one-on-one, and Willie Green ain't drawing up anything. Even Ingram isn't great one-on-one. He just makes a lot of tough shots. This could be true. I watched this team play. CJ McCollum really just wants to – their offense is kind of predicated on ball movement. They like to get the ball to Zion, let him drive to the rim. He'll have nobody can really stay in front of Zion, but he probably will draw Jabari Smith Jr., who is a pretty good defender. So I can get behind this right here, Socks and Sneaks. What else? LJ, the Mr. Houston Rocket himself, he likes Jalen Green over his 4.5 rebounds. He says he's averaging 6.5 last 8 games. Double-double is plus 1150. He had double-double last 3 games. I could not talk you off. Raptors fan says, if you like Jalen Green over 2.5 threes, Chris, then I love it. Would definitely tell if you go official with it. We'll see. Y'all know how much I hate player props, man. I just handicap them every now and then, see what kind of makes sense, and then whatever I bet on them, it don't happen. Quiet Money Will says, "What's up, Chris? I'm liking Green over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists." He says he got it this morning before it bumped up, and he's taking CJ McCollum under 8.5 rebounds and assists in this spot as well. Man, those might be two good looks. I like this. I think that I couldn't talk you off of just playing the PRA with Jalen Green. He's been much more involved in the offense. And this one kind of makes sense, Quiet Money. Well, I agree with that. I'm going to write this one down, matter of fact. Jalen Green, points, rebounds, and assists, maybe. That way you get the rebounds in there like LJ's talking about. I like this one. I like this a lot. Jalen Green over 20. I'm guessing it's 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists now. The line probably moved a little bit. What else? Let's see. Vaughn says Zion and KD both to score 20 is minus 133 on DraftKings. And Amir Coffey is starting in place of Paul George, it looks like, which makes sense. He's been getting a lot of burn off that bench. Tyloo kind of trusts him a lot now. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. We got a few more games to get to. Next game up, we got Magic and Spurs. So this game will be played in San Antonio. We got the Magic coming in. This team has been pretty good. I know I took the Magic on Friday in a probably my worst betting night of the season as 5-point favorites against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they let me down. Didn't even win that game. Lost that game outright. But the Orlando Magic, and this is one of the reasons why I liked them the other night. They are still 9-4 as a favorite this season. Like this is a team that is still kind of up and coming, but they're getting healthy. Kind of rested in this spot as well. And 9-4 is actually one of the best spreads you can take as a favorite so far this season. They're one of the better teams that you can play on. 15-9-1 against the spread on the road as well. That's 62.5%. And San Antonio, granted, this team is not great, but they do cover at home. 15-8 against the spread at home. However, they are just 8-16 when they're a dog between 2.5 to 7. So typically what that's saying is that when they're big dogs, they typically cover. When they're little dogs, not as much. The first thing that kind of jumped out to me, we know San Antonio is a pretty good team at home, and specifically in the first half. The first thing I wrote down when I saw the line was I want to lay the 5 with the Magic in this spot, but they burnt me the other day, so I'm not sure if I'll quite get there. They are on my short list right now, but this is the game that I want to watch and see how the first half goes. More than likely, if San Antonio has the game close and I can get the Orlando Magic at a price outside of, short of -5 at halftime. So let's just say the game is, 50, like 61 to 59 or, 55 to 53. And I can get Orlando, full game -2.5, -3. That's when I want to jump in on Orlando. I do think that they're a better team. I do think that, they match up really, really well with San Antonio. And as far as a player prop in this game, I like Wendell Carter Jr. It's a long shot, but I got it written down in my notes. Wendell Carter Jr. double. It's plus 340 the last time I looked on FanDuel. And, he would have cashed it the last 2 games. He just finished with 9 points. Now he gets a matchup against San Antonio that's giving up 33 points per game to the center position, which is actually 5 more than any other team right now. So I know, you got Victor Wembanyama out there, but the center position is absolutely killing this team. And they don't have a big, strong front line. So I do like Wendell Carter Jr., double, playing his rebounds. I think my guy Munaf was on that at 7.5 over. Is a pretty good look as well. He's starting to get his feet under him again. I think he's been back maybe 6 or 7 games. I also like that Franz Wagner has been back about 6 or 7 games as well. So Paolo doesn't have to do it all by himself. This is a very balanced team. So I lean Orlando to be able to cover the 5-point spread, even though the Spurs have been playing a little bit better. And I also lean and probably gonna get there, maybe just a sprinkle on Wendell Carter Jr. to record a double at plus 340. So those are my top looks in this game. Let's go to the comment section and see if you guys have anything on this one. Jay Gill says, which is better early? I'm leaning San Antonio first half at home. Yeah, we know Orlando started off as a really strong first half team. More recently, they've been a better second half team. San Antonio continues to be a very strong first half team. So I couldn't talk you off San Antonio at home. Raptors fan says Wendell Carter Jr., 15 rebounds, 15 points in Orlando to win is plus 275. The Spurs have lost 7 of their last 10 games overall and have given up 15 or more points to the opposing center 6 straight games. This is a really good handicap, Raptors fan. You've been doing your homework, my brother. I appreciate you coming in here with the looks, man. That's Wendell Carter Jr. to score 15 with Orlando Magic on the money line. Player performance double, probably on FanDuel where you can find that, or you can build it out yourself. That's sharp, Raptors fan. I could not talk you off, man. I could not talk you off. Plus 275 seems like some pretty good value there. Let's see. Daniel says he likes Orlando early. He said, I know they covered yesterday, but San Antonio stinks in the first quarter lately. Dre says, I got burned by Wendell Carter because they pulled him early and have Mo Wagner play the fourth quarter. Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. I know that they did come off that game against the Dallas Mavericks the other day. Yeah, Vaughn says, not mad at the Wendell Carter Jr. Double-double look. Last 3 games, I see his rebound chances at 14. Would like it to be a tad bit higher, but he does like that as well. LJ likes Victor Wembanyama over 3.5 blocks. He said that's enough said. He just likes that. And Daniel says the Spurs are allowing 33 points in the first quarter of the last 10 games. Yeah, I kind of almost pivoted to the team total over for the Orlando Magic in this spot as well. I do think that Orlando should be able to score. San Antonio plays really, really fast. And I don't think we know that they've been kind of bleeding points to whatever team that they're playing against. So I think Orlando team total was something that I didn't really take a deep dive into, but it just kind of spoke to me. But I didn't get there. Brian says that live look is a sharp look for Orlando. It will come down if it's close. Yeah, and that's what I wrote down in my notes. So that'll be something that I'll shoot out to the members if the game is close. Vaughn says he sees Wemby rebounds at 9.5, but it's juiced. All right, let's keep going. Next game up. This game makes me laugh. If you was watching the stream yesterday, you know why I'm laughing, because the Mavs are getting 14 points now. And we know that this line was 3.5 yesterday when we were doing a live show. I don't have much on the game now, of course. So for people who don't know, yesterday when we were doing the live show, Luka Doncic got ruled out with Derek Lively, with Kyrie. They're all listed as out. I'll tell you guys this: the Timberwolves, they haven't. Maybe we see some renewed energy in this spot, but they don't typically do really well in these spots, land these double digits as home favorites. They're just 2-4 against the spread when they're double-digit home favorite. This kind of just happened the other day against the same, not the other day, but about 3 weeks ago. I think it was on the 7th of January. We saw Mavericks team come in without Luka Doncic, and I'm not sure if Derek Lively played or not, but they were laying 9-10 points in that spot, only won the game by like 4 or 5. So the Timberwolves do have some growing up to do. I think that they really, really do. Also, on their side, Mike Conley Jr. also is not officially ruled in. And I've talked about this before. It's one of the reasons why we took the under in the game against the Oklahoma City Thunder 2 nights ago. I think their offense just doesn't play as well without him. The numbers kind of support it. So I know that the total has come down from 224.5 down to 221. Not a game that I'm going to be involved in, though, if I'm being honest with you guys. This is a game where if we, Chris Finch has gotten his team to mature, then that Minnesota wins this game by 15 to 20 points, especially without Lively being there. But if not, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Grant Williams and whoever else that they put out there will find a way to keep this game close. So not anything that I'm on. Favorite player prop, I will give you guys this though, just because I think the Timberwolves probably don't take this game as serious, especially coming off a big win. And this is what they do, right? We see this. They lose to the Spurs outright by 1. Then they go into OKC without their starting point guard, and they win the game outright as dogs. So now they come back home, probably a little fat, a little happy, not going to play their best basketball. So I think that the game will be, I think he'll have to get his full minutes, and that's Rudy Gobert. His rebound prop, super high, right? 13.5, which is typical for him, 12.5, 13.5. No juice, though, minus 114. So from a historical perspective, Rudy Gobert, he cleans the glass against the Mavs. In his last 7 games since the start of last season, he's cleared the 13.5 rebounds 4 times. And in the recent matchup, which was just a couple weeks ago, he had 17. In 7 games so far without Derek Lively this season, the Dallas Mavericks are allowing nearly 49 rebounds per game, which is the second most outside of the Washington Wizards. So just to kind of give you guys some perspective, this is a really, really bad rebounding team without Derek Lively on the floor. In comparison, Derek Lively has played in 44 games for the Dallas Mavericks. He's played in 36 games for the Dallas Mavericks, and the team is only giving up 44 rebounds in those games. So with all of that said, and just thinking about Rudy Gobert averaging 13 rebounds on 36 minutes over his last 5 games, we're just asking him to grab one more rebound than he typically does. So if we think the Timberwolves come out here, play defense, get a bunch of missed shots, then Rudy Gobert should clean the rebound. Should be a 15, 16, 17, 18 rebound game for Rudy Gobert. That would be my favorite player prop in this game. Wanted to get there with his points and rebounds, but nobody really liked passing him the ball on the team if Mike Conley isn't playing. So I stayed away from the points, but I do like Rudy Gobert rebounds. My strongest lean in this game. Did not take anything officially, though. So let's go back to the comments real quick. What are you guys thinking in this one? Smokey says, I want to take the Mavs so bad, but I'm going to pass. I agree. Let's see. Estai says, just take the under. I do like the under. I got that written down on my short list, Estai. If Mike Conley doesn't play, I think Dallas could, struggle to get to 100 points in this game for sure. And I'm not scared of the Minnesota Timberwolves offense. They don't play like really great offense, right? Like we see them struggle to score the ball at times. Outside of Anthony Edwards, they don't have a lot of playmakers. And Slow-Mo isn't having the greatest season offensively. They don't really have a backup point guard. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is pretty good, but he's not that dynamic playmaker. Jay Gill says, I do think the under is the spot. Let's see. Going back to the last game, Will likes Devin Vassell over 3.5 rebounds. He said the Magic giving up 4 or more rebounds every game of the year this year. And Vassell has hit 9 of his last 10 games. Raptor fans like Anthony Edwards over his 2.5 3-point makes. He says and has hit 4 of his last 5 games. And the Mavs have allowed 4 of the last 5 opposing guards to hit 3 or more against them as well. What's up to I like this look a lot, Raptors fan. Anthony Edwards definitely been letting them things fly for sure. What's up, AOD? Appreciate you for tapping in. Let's see. Ryan likes Reed points. Nas Reed, of course. Brian says, I don't trust the Wolves executing in the fourth quarter without a point guard. I agree with that. David says he's going with the people's champ. He likes Nas Reed and Cam Whitmore to both score 10 tonight. Dre says if they win by margin, Nas Reed rebounds are considerable. I agree. And Call Me Aries likes Tim Hardaway Jr. over his 3.5 3-point makes. He says, I think the game gives him excuse to take as many shots as he wants. And I would agree with this. I think he's coming off a 36-point game the other day when they were able to get the win against the Orlando Magic. And now, I mean, he has the ultra green light. So I agree with that. Let's see. What else? Vaughn likes Josh Green. He says Josh Green points without Luke and Kyrie. Last 4 games, averaging 23.5. Don't think I'm playing it, but it's worth a look. His line is 11.5. That's probably the best look of the game right there, Vaughn. I like the Rudy Gobert rebounds, but I like this as well. Tariq says Mavs plus the points, but he's passing. And I think we can move on from this game. All right, so let's go to a game that I did bet prematurely. And when I say this is probably the worst bet that I've made all season long. All season long, the worst bet that I've made. And it's only because the timing of the bet. So when I'm looking at this game, let me just update the total real quick because it has moved. So the game is the Nuggets and the Thunder, right? So the Nuggets are the Nuggets opened the day with Jokic being probable, and of course the Thunder had already ruled Isaiah Joe. He was already ruled out. We also had who else was ruled out already? Jalen Williams, the good Jalen Williams. UCLA Jalen Williams was ruled out as well. And we had SGA, who was listed as questionable, which I thought he would play. We also had Chet Holmgren, who was listed as questionable with an ankle injury. Both of those, and Lou Dort, all listed as questionable. So I'm thinking, even if those guys play, and I'm honestly, if all of them play, I'm cool with taking Denver. I just like the spot a lot for Denver. I know that, Coach Mike Malone for the Denver Nuggets is a very prideful coach. And OKC, if you guys don't remember, they actually went to Denver and beat they went to Denver and beat this Nuggets team. SGA hit the game winner. After that game, the Oklahoma City Thunder had a 7-game homestand. The 7-game homestand, I think they won 6 games. They lost to the Lakers. Soon as the 7-game homestand ended, they went back to Denver, beat Denver again. And I think Denver was going to say something about that. I don't think so anymore now. And what I gave out was the Nuggets on the money line when they were +1. The line was coming all the way down. I'm talking literally 5 minutes after I gave the bet out, the line moved to Thunder -6. And I'm like, why is it moving to 6? These guys must have got rolled in as soon as I placed the bet, because I did check the injury report right before. And they not only did they get rolled in, but Jokic got rolled out too. So I gave out the worst possible line that could have gave out. Now you see the line come. It went all the way to 6.5 and some buyback now because the line's coming back down to 5.5. And the total's coming down. And I would agree with the total coming down here. Jokic has only missed one game this season. It was the game earlier against the Clippers, and they won that game outright. Right? The Clippers kind of, Clippers always play with their food. They play down the competition. But I don't think the Thunder do that. I don't think that they do. I knew that the Thunder were coming off back-to-back losses. I just didn't care. I think the Nuggets are the better team here. Even on the road, I think the Nuggets were going to be able to go ahead and get a win. I know they haven't been the greatest team on the road, this season, but I really like the spot for them in this spot. Of course, I don't like it as much now. And if I had to play the game, I'll probably look at Denver team total to go under. I think without Jokic, they're going to really struggle to score the ball. Total in this game is 224 with the spread being 6. So that's 112. Subtract 3, probably 108.5 is what the number should be. OKC's been really good defensive team. They're top 10 defensively in the league. Specifically at home they are. And Denver has an offensive rating of just 107 points per 100 possessions across almost 1,300 possessions without Jokic on the floor this season. Their offense ranks in the bottom 4 percentile in that category without Jokic on the floor. So if I'm playing the game now, then I'm definitely looking at Denver team total to go under. I think Denver slows the game down. I think OKC also been playing at a pretty slow pace. Their offense hasn't been as good. And their offense still going to struggle without J-Dub on the floor as well. So I agree with the total coming down. And if I had to play the game right now, it'd be team total under for me. Yeah, that's all I'll say on this one. You guys let me know what you're thinking in this one. I could cash out the bet, David, but it's only about half of what because I'm trying to tell you, I put the bet in, and then I didn't even check it anymore. I'm just like, I'm gonna chuck this one up to L because a lot of the sportsbooks I play on don't let me cash out. But I put this in on ESPN Bet because they actually had a plus 105. Everybody else had a plus 100. So I put it in on ESPN Bet. ESPN Bet offered me a cash out, but it's 50% of what I put the bet in for. So I'm like, I'll just let it ride. Like, I'm cool with that. And push come to shove, I'll live bet it and make my money back. Like, it's not super big deal. And what I do is when I do find the angle that I like the most, I'll send it out to you guys so we can cash, like, because I know people did put the bet in when I sent it out. So we'll find a way to get this one back. It's not a super big deal. Vaughn says leaning full game under for OKC and the Nuggets, and historically the Nuggets don't score much without Joker. Small sample size, but still, I agree with this as well. David reminded people to hit the like button. He says 250 people watching, only 75 likes. He said, y'all musty, man. Hit the like button. I appreciate you, David. Always got my back, man. The original hater 11 likes Jamal Murray over his assists in this spot. And Raptors fan says, how do you feel about Aaron Gordon over 6.5 rebounds? Sure, he'll crash the glass without Jokic there. And he's hit 4 of his last 5 games without Joker. I would agree with this. I mean, you could get, a little bit of laxed OKC team, even though they are off 2 straight losses. We did see them laxed against the Detroit Pistons the other day, and they lost that game outright. We know Aaron Gordon is a beast on the board, so could not talk you off of this one at all. OJ likes Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over his 1.5 steals at plus 165. He says he averages 3 steals last 6 road games versus the West. Okay. Could not talk you off of that one. And let's see. Okay, I thought we had some more breaking news. Yeah, that's what we got here. Let's keep going. Next game up. We got 2 more games to get to real quick. Next game up, we got Suns and we got Nets. And I probably should update this line, right? Because no, it's actually still 3.5. So this is scary. This I'll tell you guys right now. This is scary. So Ben Simmons gets ruled out, and this line was at 3.5. The line hasn't moved, and it got ruled out right when the show started. The line has not moved at all. Now, we did see the total come down just a tad bit. You guys see 234 on the screen, and it's down to 233 at most books right now. This is a really interesting game, man. So Phoenix, extremely inconsistent. They're only 8-16-2 against the spread, off a win. You kind of teeter it back and forth with, winning and losing. They're also just 11-21-2 as favorites, right? So you got them laying points and not being profitable in that spot specifically. You look at Brooklyn. Brooklyn is 14, and 14-7-3 against the spread at home this season. So they're covering 2 out of every 3 games. And we know that they, kind of they went on that little tailspin, but recently they've been covering. They covered back-to-back games spreads as home dogs, and it should have been 3 if they actually, the ball didn't bounce the Knicks' way in that heroic performance that we saw about a week and a half ago. The Suns do cover these short lines, though. I will say that as a favorite of 2.5 to 7, they're 13-7 against the spread. So as long as they're not asking to win by margin, they typically do so. What I had written in my notes was that I wrote, I'll wait for the Ben Simmons news before playing this one because he does mean a lot. And with that news, we haven't seen the line move a lot. We got Kevin Durant, of course, coming back to Brooklyn. I think the first thing that jumps out to me just by watching Phoenix over the last couple games is Phoenix, and I know the same thing applies for Brooklyn. Brooklyn has been really, really hot. I think they're 5-0 against the spread their last 5 first quarters. But Phoenix has absolutely been on fire out of the gate. I'm not sure if people are watching it, but they're averaging 34 points in the first quarter on the road in the month of January. That's a plus 5 point, a plus 5 point differential as well. So they typically win in the first quarter, something like 34-29. And then on the opposite side, you got Brooklyn. Brooklyn has been the other best first quarter team. They came out absolutely blasted the Jazz in the first quarter. They came out absolutely blasted the Houston Rockets in the first quarter. They even had a lead against the Knicks in the first quarter as well. We also got the Phoenix Suns in this spot specifically. I think this is the 4th straight road game of like a 6 or 7 game road trip. They got a few more road games on this trip as well, but they are fully healthy. And I'm not sure how motivated they'll be in this spot. One thing I'll tell you guys is, and I didn't notice until after the show, after we did the last show when when Phoenix was playing against the Miami Heat. Coach Frank Vogel said that the players were pissed after they lost that game on Sunday to the who did they lose to? They lost to the Phoenix Suns. After the Phoenix Suns, they lost to the Indiana Pacers. And after the Pacers, they lost another game to the Orlando Magic. They lost to the Magic on Sunday. That's who it was. He said that they were pissed. He said, quite frankly, they're pissed, and I'm pissed too. And I wish I would have just known that so I could have played them because I probably would have took them against the Heat. I'm not sure if they're going to come out with that same motivation in this spot. Brooklyn has been playing well. Ben Simmons being out, I don't like it as much. But Phoenix, it's a lot of matchup advantages in this spot specifically for the Brooklyn Nets. They defend them really, really well. And Phoenix is not defending that well. And they also run out of gas late in the fourth quarter. So I think if you like Phoenix, you like them early in this spot. First quarter against the spread, first half against the spread. I couldn't talk anybody off playing their team totals to stay away from the spread in the first quarter and the first half. Devin Booker has been absolutely elite and on fire. You got Bradley Beal. This will be the second game with the little nose mask on I think he's going to be wearing that he got, custom fitted to his face versus playing with those things in his nose in that first game against Orlando when he really was just a decoy. And we know Kevin Durant's going to want to turn up, man. He's not going to want to go back to Brooklyn and not play well. So I say all that to say if I'm playing the game, I'm probably staying away from the spread. And if I do like the spread, I think I like it earlier rather than later. Just not sure if Brooklyn, I know they've been a really good defensive team. I'm not sure if they have enough offense to keep pace with this Phoenix Suns team. I think Phoenix can play defense when they really, really need to. So, but I'm not playing Phoenix on a full game spread. It'd be Nets plus 3.5 if I had to play it or nothing at all. And I do think the Phoenix can win and cover, so I'm off of that as well. But Phoenix first quarter, first half team totals is what I'd be looking at if I was playing this game. Let's go to the comment section and see what you guys are thinking here. I already see something I missed, and we'll get to it in a second. Let's see. David says, my immediate thought for this game, Cameron Johnson. So Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, they will be playing the team that traded him. Cannot talk anybody off looking at those guys. Shadow says, I think Cam Thomas and Bridges will go off in this game. Also, if KD cares a little about this game, he should easily clear his points line. Couldn't talk you off. Mr. Nice Guy likes the Nets on the money line. Brian says, Nets first quarter home. What do you think? I could see them covering the spread. I'm just not sure if they're going. Maybe it's just a high score in first quarter. Phoenix is not playing much defense. I'm not sure what that first quarter team total over is. Maybe you just look at that. Get in and get out. Booker, triple B likes, he says Booker over 8.5 first quarter points for him. Minus 128. He says he's on a heater right now, scoring 174 points in his last 4 games, and he's been playing the whole first quarter. I couldn't talk you off of this Triple B. I think what correlates to this one, and I forgot to mention it because I had it written down on paper, but not written down on my electronic notes. Devin Booker under his assists. I was scared to play it last game. It was 6.5. He's continuously went under this number since he started scoring all these points that you're talking about. Potential assists have dropped from 14.5, where he was averaging 7.8 assists, down to 9, where he's averaging only 4.4 assists over his last 5 games. So if you think it's going to be a shootout, and Bradley Beal does most of the distributing, and what I'll tell you guys is when you look at the assists over the last 5 games, it's fluctuated between the two. All 3 of those guys are averaging between 4 and between 6 assists. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. And I say that to say this. It really just depends on who gets hot, right? Whoever gets hot, they're going to feed that person the ball. And everybody else will just be, the assist man to try to keep the guy that's hot. So couldn't talk you off. JR says, beware. FanDuel has a boost for Kevin Durant, 20 points, and Devin Booker, 2 threes. Man, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. I think that's one you got to go with. I can't see Kevin Durant not scoring 20 points. Maybe Devin Booker hits 1 3, but the rate he's been shooting it, I would only be looking towards the over, and I just probably fall into this trap. Let's see. Vaughn says Nurkic game log last 5 games are horrible. 8, 7, and 5, 8.7 rebounds, and then 8 and 5, and then he dipped even to 2 points and 4 rebounds, and 6 points and 8 rebounds. I have no idea what's going on with him. Yeah, I haven't paid too much attention to him either. What else you guys like? David says he found triple double for Kevin Durant at plus 2,800. God loves Bet365. So Kevin Durant, little sprinkle on Kevin Durant triple double tonight. LJ says he liked that nets in the first quarter. He says 20-4 against the spread at home in the first quarter. They're 10-0 against the spread first quarter at home last 10. Suns first half 14-7-1 against the spread at home. First half on the road and Durant over 26.5 points. So 3 plays for LJ here. I hope you cash in, my brother. Best of luck here. Dre says KD assist props a little sneaky. Tariq says he took the Suns. And DJ, number 1 Phoenix Suns fan, says he took Devin Booker over the 8.5 first quarter points as well. He says didn't shoot a shot in the first quarter of the last meeting and finished with 34. He's averaging 12.5 over the last 8 games in the first quarter. Appreciate you sharing those numbers, DJ. Very, very solid look. And we know he's going to play the whole first quarter for sure. Let's see. Shadow says, so you guys think Kevin Durant is going to turn into Magic Johnson in this game? This is what I'm getting from these comments. I mean, Kevin Durant's unselfish, man. He might not try to kill him. We'll see how it goes, though. We definitely will see how it goes. Let's see. Vaughn says Booker assist is showing for 5.5. He'd be 4 for 5 to the under, in case anyone was wondering. Yeah, I looked at it, Vaughn. I have it on my short list, just haven't pulled the trigger. Let's keep going. We got one more game to get to real quick. Been on for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Last game. Hit the like button for me if you guys joined late. Definitely appreciate that. Let's go to this last game. So we got Bucks and we got Blazers. Theme of the day, a theme of the game is Damian Lillard, of course, back in his in his old stomping grounds. Pretty sure he'll want to go off. So I couldn't talk anybody off looking at his points prop. Nothing that I played in this spot. Milwaukee will probably try to feed him the ball. Want him to have a big game. The Bucks are coming off that loss against the Denver Nuggets, and I'm so upset I didn't fade him in that spot. I really, really wanted to. You do get a Portland team that's, actually been playing a little bit better basketball. They are just 8-29 against the spread on the season, 7-14 against the spread at home, and 4-9 against the spread off a win, because they are off back-to-back wins. They beat not off back-to-back wins. They beat Chicago. They lost to Chicago and beat Philly. I think that's how it goes. Looking at the Milwaukee side, this team, as we all know, has not been trustworthy on the road, or just in general. 7-21-1 against the spread overall, 8-13 against the spread on the road, 16-27-1 against the spread as a favorite. They also don't bounce back historically this season off bad performances from an ATS perspective. I got them as just 4-9-1 against the spread off a previous loss. And then as a dog of 7 points to 10 points, which the Blazers are, they're 7-4 against the spread. So they do cover these big numbers. And then the Bucks, when they're laying 7 to 10 points, they're just 6-8 against the spread. So the Bucks will while Damian Lillard and the Milwaukee Bucks will want to play well in this spot, the Blazers will too. I do think that they get up for this game. This is the team that Damian Lillard chose to want to be traded from. So I think I'm not into laying points. You guys know I'm not laying points, especially on the road. I don't even want to lay points with the Bucks at home. So I'm definitely not laying 10.5 with them here. If Portland has everybody in, I think they can keep this game respectable. Anthony Simons will be out there. I'm pretty sure he'll want to go at Dame. You also got Malcolm Brogdon, who is the kind of leader of the snake. Scoot Henderson, Jeremy Grant's been playing well. DeAndre Ayton as well. Like I think this game, I think they can keep it close for sure. So those are my thoughts on the game. If I'm playing, I'm taking the points. We did just get Keldon Johnson and Zach Collins both ruled out. That makes me like Orlando even more. Is there any Orlando -5s left, or all of them turn to 5.5s? I need to check that real quick because I do like Orlando in this spot. So those are my thoughts on the game. I didn't really look into it from a player prop perspective outside of like the just the normal Damian Lillard angle. Let me see what you guys are looking at here, and then we'll get into best bets. Drop your best bets in the comment section as well. Interested to know if you guys could only make one play, what would it be? Let me know what it is, and then we'll go over the comments, and I'll get to YouTube as well. We'll get to a couple of the guys and see what they're on, or gals, and see what they're on, and then we'll get up out of here. Let's see. Tariq says Washington, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Blazers to cover. He said his dog Wednesday. Okay, I could not talk you. I think all of those dogs cover too. I hope the the Denver Nuggets find a way to cover too. I hope they do. SK says liking Brogdon over 16.5 points against any team, and the Bucks give it up to the guards. Float game. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off, SK. I think that's a really solid look here. Brian says Bucks first quarter over 31.5 and first half over 62.5. I'm looking hard. What do you think? I think the thing with this, Brian, is who dictates pace, right? So a lot of the times we get these inflated totals for the opposing team against the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Blazers play so slow. This is a game where you got a team that one total is typically sitting around 240 with the Bucks, and the other team is total is sitting around 225 with the Portland Trail Blazers. They play the slowest pace, one of the slowest pace teams in the league. They're bottom 5. Their defensive rating is actually not that bad when they have all their starters in. And they're a really good rebounding team. So they play at a snail's pace. And they offensively, I think they're the worst offensive team in the league. Last time I looked, maybe just a couple days ago, maybe it was earlier this morning, I can't remember. But they are the 30th ranked offense over the last, over the season. So this isn't a good offensive team. So you get these inflated totals, and that's one of the things that kind of talk me off because, going out there and scoring 62 points, it's a lot of points. Can the Bucks do it? Absolutely. But they need to dictate pace, and they need to play defense so they can get up and down the floor and be able to run. If they're going to score that many points, is my thoughts on that. Don't let me talk you off, Brian, but those are my thoughts. Let's see. SK says his points and assists, 23.5 has been cashing too. I think he's talking about Brogdon. Quiet Money Will likes Brogdon. He says over 16.5, the offense runs through him. Let's be real. Dame's defense is questionable. Dame's defense is probably doubtful, but we'll see how it goes. Best bet for David. He likes Sir Cam Whitmore of the Houston Rockets variety. He says he likes his points. Let's see. Vaughn says taking a closer look at Malik Beasley threes. Minutes have been there, but volume is low. Why not bounce back versus the Blazers? I'll tell you guys this. Like, the Blazers aren't necessarily the worst three-point defensive team in the league. They do a really good job. Chauncey employs these guys to run people off the three-point line. Mike Conley just got ruled in also. Mike, did that just happen? Yeah, Mike Conley just got ruled in. The Blazers give up a lot of points in the paint. That's where they give it up. That's specifically where they give up points at. So it could be a bigger Giannis game, versus somebody threes. The Blazers don't give up a lot of threes. Remember, they went to LA not too long ago, and Anthony Davis and LeBron James and Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell got whatever they wanted inside the paint, and then they were kicking it out to the three-point shooters. So this Blazers defense is not necessarily the worst from three-point line. I'll just add that. Rob says Heat money line on the bounce back, going back to the earlier game. Scotty says he sprinkled on Dame 35 and Simons to score 30 at plus 1,200. If it's the offensive shootout, it could definitely be those guys. Shadow says Anthony Simons over 24.5 for his best bet. He says he thinks he goes off against Dame. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be there for sure. And Fred says Chris was good. He says I'm back. Like he hasn't been tuned in because of work, But what's the word? Yeah, what's going on, Fred? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Jermaine says, I'm gonna go ahead and play everyone who's playing for a former team tonight in a parlay, all points. So he likes the revenge angle tonight for sure. Okay. All right, cool. So let's get into the best bets then. Top looks for myself. The best that I placed. I'll give you guys everything that I placed today, and also let you guys know what I'm leaning as well. So I took the Bulls, took them at -4 early this morning. That was the first play that I sent out to the members. Also took Washington when it was +12.5. That line is, I know it's definitely gone now, especially with PG being ruled out. But we'll see how it goes. They're down to 9.5 now. Don't like it as much, but I do think the Clippers can keep it close. Also, I took I'm not going to give you guys the Denver Nuggets because, of course, I took that line prematurely. That was my fault. And then also, so those are the two plays that I played. Well, three plays that I played so far. As far as other things that I'm looking at for today and what I have written on my short list. Pistons and Cavs, I'm not touching it. The total or the side. Kings and Heat. I do lean Kings. Didn't play them, but I do lean Kings. Lean under in that game as well, under the 229. Pelicans and Rockets. It'd be Rockets on the money line for me. Staying away from the game, but that's the only way I would play it. Magic and the Spurs. It'd be Magic for me in this spot. I do like the Magic. I think that they bounce back. Off that loss against the Dallas Mavericks the other night. And beat the San Antonio Spurs by margin tonight. So I do, like I said, they're on my short list. Maybe I'll add the Magic in the money line parlay. We'll see how it goes. Mavs and Timberwolves, don't like it as much, but I was leaning under. Mike Conley being ruled in does not make me like it as much. So probably no play on that game. Do like Rudy Gobert rebounds in that spot though. And Nuggets and Thunder, like I said, under on the Nuggets team total with no Jokic being in there, I think will be my favorite play of the day. I'm sorry, favorite play of this game. But nothing that I pulled the trigger on. I do think the Nuggets deep offense is going to struggle to score in this spot, though, without Jokic being out there. Suns and Nets, first quarter Suns team total over, first half Suns team total over, and that's when I would stop. Because for some reason, they struggle to score in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, but the Nets have started off the game pretty strong. That's the only thing that kept me off not making an official play. And then Bucks and Blazers, I'd be taking the points with the Blazers in this spot. I know the line is moved against the Blazers. It's up to 10.5 now, but that's the only way I'll be able to look, man. I'm not laying double digits I don't lay double digits with the Bucks at home. I'm definitely not doing it on the road. So those are my top looks. Let's go over to Twitter and speak. Let's talk to my guy Flo, who hit the 6,500 plus triple double for Josh Hart yesterday. He also gave out a couple other looks that cashed as well. Flo, what's going on, my brother? Talk to me. How you doing today?
The best coach in the NBA. One Tom Thibodeau who played Josh Hart 42 minutes.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, Flo. Hey, Flo, you guys kind of got like a sense of like a cheat code in the sense that you never have to worry about if minutes gonna fluctuate or not. Not with the starters, right?
Bro, my favorite thing is it's like he has so little patience for like the backups. Like the Jazz were down like 25. They cut to 16 with 6 minutes. And just the hit at the Jazz, they like kind of Jalen was right back in the game. I love this dude so much. Like that's how I'm like, if I was just Tom Thibodeau a lunatic, I can't tell the difference sometimes. But yeah, man, that was amazing. That was fantastic. But I don't know what look for tonight. Going back to like what was kind of a system play like a month ago. I just like I don't know what offense like you're forcing turnovers. Like I check the box scores, they're still doing it when people are against guards / forwards with usages over 20%. I'm targeting Devin Vassell over 1.5. It's juicy. It's at -131, but I'm taking the 2 turnovers. Two games last year versus Orlando. Orlando's defense even better this year. Home games, 4 of the last 6, he has 2 turnovers. And also the fact that his usage is kind of spiked. It's been on a steady incline up. Then it kind of peaked last game at 32.2. So just going to go back to the Orlando Magic system. It's been kind of riding crazy. Just like the last month of just like guys with the ball in their hand, dominating usage, taking shots. Like they're covering. The Magic number was 3. So the fact that I can get it at 2 makes me even love it more. So just one play for tonight. That's all I got.
Okay. Devin Vassell, system play for Flo here. I could not talk you off. He should get increased usage too, especially being that Keldon Johnson just got ruled out. Makes a lot of sense, Flo.
Oh yeah, for sure. Another question for you actually. What do you think of this Halliburton thing? Because obviously he didn't play like all his minutes last game, and obviously we always when the Knicks play like targeting the point guard for assists. I mean, he got so many assists in limited action. I'm almost thinking like it's almost gonna be a value play as soon as those Halliburton assists drops. But like even if he only plays like 27 minutes, like he could definitely get like 12 assists in 27 minutes. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. So, do they play? They play tomorrow, Flo? They play. They play y'all. They play y'all tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, I think so, Flo. What's crazy is the total is 241. You never see that in a Knicks game, right? Like that is an extremely high total. Yeah, I got to look a little more into it, Flo. But whenever we talking Knicks, I mean, I lean more towards what you're looking at with your eyes, man. I think you spot on with your Knicks right now, man.
I appreciate that. The sneaky one I'm really gonna look for if he plays is OG Anunoby's assist. It's like 2, 4, and 5. That line's been sitting at 1.5. And like Dante DiVincenzo, he's not a guy like a big ball creator. Like he's been like getting, I want to say, like 4 assists the last 2 games. So yeah, if OG plays and it's 1.5, I gotta look at it. This is just like preliminary thoughts, but that's the first thought that goes to mind. Like 2 games ago, you could put his 12 points with 5 assists, and it was like plus 1175. Like that's stupid. So yeah, just some early thoughts, man. I appreciate you having me up.
Absolutely, always, Flo. You always got a spot, my brother. Appreciate you as well, and best of luck on the Devin Vassell over on his turnovers as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. So, all right, before we move on, I want to go back to something that was mentioned in the chat real quick. David says, Chris, can you do an SDQL? He wants to see the Timberwolves with Mike Conley in to see if the opponents can go under their team total here in this spot. So what I'll do is I'll pull this up on the screen real quick before we kick it to the next couple speakers, and I get those guys up just to kind of show you guys what this looks like. So this is Mike Conley. This is Mike Conley in over. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. Mike Conley in for the Timberwolves this season. He wants to look at the opponent team totals. So you can see here they only given up about 106 points on the season with Mike Conley in. He's played in 42 games, and it looks like the last game he played in was the Nets game. They went under their team total. The Thunder went under their team total in that game. That wasn't the game that just happened. It was the game that happened on the 20th. 2 back-to-back games versus the Grizzlies and the Pistons. That tells you everything you need to know. Against the good teams, they go under. The Grizzlies and the Pistons, however, go over their team totals. Against the Clippers, against the Trailblazers, against the Magic, and against the Mavericks, and also against the Rockets, those teams go under their team total. So it looks like out of the last, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the last 9 teams have gone under their team total when Mike Conley has played. And I mean, you can play with this filter a little bit and add like home games specifically, where you can see that they're only giving up 102 points per game across Mike Conley's 17 games at home. And on this one specifically, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the last 6 opponents have gone under their team total as well. So looks like they've given up just outside of the Pelicans scoring 117 points. The Blazers scored 93, the Clippers scored 105, the Grizzlies scored 103, and the Thunder scored 102 in home games for the Timberwolves so far. So hopefully this helps a little, David, and I appreciate you for asking so I could bring this up as well. We got a best bet for Vaughn. He says give him the under in OKC and the Nuggets. I couldn't talk you off. I like that look a lot, Vaughn. And Quiet Money will also want to shout out Flo. He says he doubted the Hart triple-double, but he called it. And he says it's still cast on Dante DiVincenzo, but it was a good read as well. So he wants to shout out to Flo there. And he also says it's what the channel's about, man. He likes to support. So I appreciate that as well. David says, I just dropped a hammer on the Mavs team total under. He says, I need to call off of work. He's sick. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. Let's go to Sean. I know he's been waiting for a minute. So let's get Sean up real quick. Sean, if you can hear me, the floor is yours, my brother. What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, I appreciate you. How you doing today?
Absolutely, bro. I'm doing all right, man. What's going on? What you liking for tonight? Talk to us.
Good to hear. It's got two plays. I didn't want to dig in on one, but my play of the day is actually I posted on my Twitter as well. It's Terrence Mann, 4 rebounds, 4 plus rebounds, plus 130. He's covered this line in 5 of his last 5 games against Washington. Paul George, I think that's just going to help the case even more. And then my other play or second play would be Zion over his points today. He's been hitting this line. As far as numbers go, he's in the games that he's had 29 plus minutes, he's had 12. He's hit the line 12 of his last 15 games with 29 plus minutes. And I seen Markkanen went for like 22 against him on a poor shooting night. I think Zion's going to go off against the Rockets.
Okay. What was the number, Sean?
At 22 and a half, but I think it's probably moved.
About 22 and a half, 23 and a half points for Zion tonight?
Yep. I think he's still like 25 plus.
25 plus. Okay. So Zion tonight. Best of luck, Sean. I hope you cash it. I like the Terrence Mann look. I think that's super sneaky as well. Especially without PG being there. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. This dude stays on the glass, so I could definitely see this one cashing potentially in the first half. Like that look a lot. That's a sneaky look. I don't think anybody's probably looking at today. Like that look a lot. Best of luck tonight, Sean. I hope you cash, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
Absolutely. You too. Let's go, Keith, before we shut down. What's up, Keith?
Chris, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Talk to me. How you?
Doing good. Just want to say I appreciate you for allowing me to come up. Just hit 1,000 followers the other day. I remember this being one of the first platforms I came up and spoke on.
My God, love it. Love to hear that. Bro.
I want to go back to it. I actually have a few plays in today. I feel like today is a very good, profitable day. I was really hoping Ben Simmons would hit the floor because they were running like 5-second offense with him. I was watching that film. I was really going to run Mikal Bridges. But I'm going to Cam Thomas in that Nets game. I'm taking this over 22 and a half. And I did sprinkle on a parlay lotto. It was plus 2309, I believe it was. I did post it on my page. And I'm going to pair it with Anthony Simons to have a good game, 23.96. Just a sprinkle on that one. But my favorite straight for the day, I'm going to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over his points. He scored 30. He scored over 33 and a half. I know the number bumped down a little bit, but without Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe, that's arguably 2 of the best ISO scorers in the game. I think he's going to have the ball in his hands. I understand Kenny's going to get a little more usage too. I'm just going to Shai Gilgeous over his points line just based off the game log. He's hacked when Jamal Murray's guarding him on the court and Jokic is in there. So I'm sure the centers, DeAndre Jordan's definitely not going to be able to keep up with Shai going to the rim. But another system play that I've cashed with you before was the rebounds versus the Blazers. Players that play at a pace at a 100. Last time I took Kobe White to go 5 and 5. I was kind of kicking myself. I should have went out with Sumo. The very next game, I did not go against myself, and it was Kelly Oubre. I cashed it over 4.5. Guards and forwards that play at a pace of a 100. So far, I've cashed twice with Trey Jones. Once he hit his max. Once with Danny Avdia, he was one shy of his max, and then just recently with Dante and Kelly Oubre. So I'm going Malik Beasley, very juiced at minus 163. Yeah, I got it on Caesars, but I played the 4 and the 6. Just sticking to the system play that's kind of been working for me. They had that line circled. So yeah, those are some of my favorite spots. Simons over his points, Cam Thomas over his points, Shai Gilgeous over his points, and then Malik Beasley over the rebounds. And then hopefully the Heat get the win today. I'm kind of waiting to see if they drop Caleb Martin props. I want to see where they put him at because that's the guy that's got to step up for us today. We need more offense. And I think it's going to be him that steps up, has a big game.
Yeah, real quick, Keith. While I got you up, what's your thoughts on y'all game today, man? What do you think happens? I know y'all on the skid. You think it ends today, or you like your chances, or you think the Kings win? Zion just got ruled out, just FYI as well, and Herb Jones just got ruled out. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. That is insane. But
a lot of strength. Yeah, we need energy. That's what it is. I love the Rozier addition. Even though I knew the Knicks would beat us the other day, when we scored in transition, we're very hard to stop. And the Kings give up a lot of points to the backdoor cuts because they don't have rim protectors and they play backup. Their backup center is Trey Lyles. So I'm looking at Caleb Martin today. I'm looking at Rozier to hit. I'm not betting on it. Rozier's got to hit the R. It's got to be stops, rebound, half-court passes, quick scores. We got to score in transition. We got to get the energy plays from Bam, get the blocks. Butler's got to play the passing lanes. It's got to be a combination of everything. Yes, we'll miss shots. It's part of the game. But if we're not creating those easy opportunities from the identity that we built throughout the years, having the guy coming off the bench being an energy guy, which I think today is going to be Caleb Martin. The other day, I took Josh Green. I'm not sure if we went over his line, but I parlayed. I took a parlay piece of it and go to 10 points. I know he catches his line was 7. Basically, because he's one of the better. He's either going to shoot from the corner or he's going to pump fake and drive baseline, and he's going to make the right read or he's going to score under the rim. Because the Kings just don't have rim protection. So I know Caleb Martin can do the same exact thing. Patiently waiting to see what his line is at.
Okay, so top look in the game.
I
Okay.
think we can get this win today, but if not, then it might just be that time. To be honest with you.
Oh man, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm afraid of the Knicks, man. Like if you got Robinson coming back, if you got Hartenstein playing the defense that he is, if you got OG, he's just as strong as Jimmy. It's gonna come down to Brunson and Rozier. Come on, we all know who we go take, and that's why I'm being completely honest with you guys. Like I gotta play the. We can't rely on. First of all, we got the health bug in our locker room. We've been battling that. K-Love is old. I think he's shooting like 15% in the last 10 games from 3. We could have put Thomas Bryant out there. We need a superstar.
Yeah. I think I love brutally honest Miami Heat fans, man. Shout out to you, Keith. Best of luck too, bro. I hope you cash tonight.
Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Let's go. Before we get to Dream, I see my guy Flo hand back up. So let's go Flo, then go Dream. What's up, Flo?
Bro, I'm only afraid of the Miami Heat until there's a sign on the scoreboard saying thank you to the fans and the season's over, bro. None of this proves me, bro. Like, they're going to be 6, 7 seed. I was thinking about this the other day, like, next time I get up to 2 and 3 seed. I'm like, wouldn't that be like 2 and 3 seed? And Miami Heat came out and played on the 6 seed and just waiting for us around one with the freaking Miami Heat.
I also want to chime in. The tallest player on the opposing team has been I was just talking smack on Drew Eubanks. So like, there's no way he's outworked Bam. He outworked Bam. So today it has to be him if I'm looking at the main guy.
Sabonis?
Bam's got to outwork Sabonis.
Oh, like, Bam's got to outwork Sabonis.
He's dominating us for the last 4 days. I don't know why.
Yeah, I look. You know, I saw that the Kings have been the best rebounding team in the league over the last 5 games. I think over the season as well. They've been a really dominant rebounding team. And we know Bam is one of the elite defenders at the 5 position, especially when he guarding you man to man. And I was looking at Sabonis trying to get there, maybe on his points, maybe his points plus rebounds. And y'all haven't given up y'all have only given up 1 double-digit rebounder in the last 7 games, Keith. And of course, Sabonis line is going to be 12.5, close to 13, juiced every single game. So I didn't quite get there, but that was something I was looking into as well, man. But I love the Heat talk. I love the Knicks talk. Let's go Dream. Dream, what's up, man? Big slate. I know you got some looks. Tell the people how to get paid today, man. What you looking at?
Oh, man, what's the vibes, man?
How you, bro?
Shit, man. I got 7 straight. Shout out, look at my page. Straight, man. A lot of them move. Anybody talk about Jalen Green?
Yeah, I like it. So somebody talked about his double-double. His PRA. I like his threes. I think there's a lot of ways to get paid with him. What you think, Dream? What you like?
Nah, it's double-double, but I'll move on.
Okay.
Got Russ double-double, plus 750 on FanDuel. Bagley double-double, plus 1,200 on FanDuel. I just posted a bunch of these shits. Oh, yeah. DeAndre Jordan rebound ladder, probably worth the look. I see his lines is at 12, 240, 14. It's a good number. And Jordan Hawkins, it looked like 2 guys from New Orleans just got ruled out, I see.
So when them Jordan Hawkins lines pop, I don't know if they popped already or not. I'm about to look myself. The Jordan Hawkins for the Pelicans threes are worth the look. But yeah, man, that's really it. I got a lot of looks. Nothing. If you want my favorite look, man, just put during understocks and during over assist, and apparently it'd be like plus 170 for a unit. If you just want like my favorite look, but yeah, man, I just wanted to drop some value plays in here, man. I literally just woke up from my nap, so let me pop in here, man. So
My God, absolutely, bro. I appreciate you as well, Dream. I think I see Will had mentioned it as well. He said Cam Whitmore said Jordan Hawkins was the hardest player he ever had to guard, and Jordan Hawkins said Cam was the toughest cover as well. So yeah, this could get a little spicy, man. This could definitely get a little spicy. Yeah, it could definitely get a little spicy. David says, "Stop the comments, man. We are officially squad riding the Houston Rockets money line. Chris, make the play, man." So this is I do kind of want to. I kind of missed the best of the number. Y'all know I like to get those numbers quick, and I looked and I saw plus 1.5 for Houston as soon as Zion and Herb got rolled out. When I think it was Keith that was talking, and I just couldn't get logged into my account quick enough to actually get the play in. But I mean, I love Houston plus 1.5 on the money line, whatever you can get them at tonight. No Zion means no play for me on the Pelicans. I think they definitely need him in this spot, but hopefully Houston don't let their guard down, because like Dream just mentioned, Jordan Hawkins, like him getting that opportunity, this dude ain't never seen a shot that he don't like. So it'll be more minutes for him, and it'll also mean they'll probably play a little bit faster without Zion as well. So we'll see how it goes, man. We will see how it goes. I really like Dream said a lot of great things, but I think the DeAndre Jordan rebound ladder is something that I didn't really take into consideration. I do think that Denver's still going to be able to play defense. If anything, they get a little bit more paint protection. Their offense will be a little slower, which is why I like the under. I know Vaughn mentioned that in the YouTube comment section. But I think that's a really, really good look. I like that a lot. And I want to thank everybody for popping in, man. Sean, Dream, Flo, Keith, everybody else that, liked the video, commented on the video, dropped the best bet. Hope you guys cash tonight, man. It's a beautiful, well, I ain't gonna say beautiful, but it's a nice little 4-game slate tomorrow with some good NBA action, man. So best of luck to everybody tonight. We'll be back to do this thing all over again tomorrow. Hope you guys cash all your bets. Have a great night. Enjoy the games, everyone. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'm out.